And what I want to do today is I want to talk about what to do when you're having a bad day. Everybody has bad days.
I'm having one today.
So we're talking about how to get through a bad day. One key point that I want to make before I get started is the fact that bad days are guaranteed to happen. Your goal, your job, is to make sure that a bad day doesn't become bad days, and that bad days don't become a bad week, and that a bad week doesn't become a bad month, etc. And too often in times what happens is people allow one thing to happen to them, and it starts derailing everything that they've built, everything that they've accomplished, all the momentum that they've been able to generate. And there are some tricks and some things that you can do to correct and about facing these situations, and I want to share them with you today.
When's the last time you had a bad day, Jared?
Man,
Give me an example of a bad day.
Day before yesterday.
Why? What was bad about it?
Dude, I got bad news about, major bad news about a partner we work with. I had to fire somebody. That's never fun. And then just frustration with how to get to the next level in the business. Mm-hmm. So it happens all the time.
So how did you handle that? How did you turn that around? Do you have a strategy, a system?
Well, the thing is you can't just say, hey, I've got a bad day, and you could just fix it immediately. It's a discipline. Mm-hmm. It's a discipline. And one thing that I told Dave, because sometimes he has bad days, and sometimes you can see
Dave Robart.
Yeah, he has these things that happen, and it like drags on along the throughout the week. And one thing that I think where I learned this from is in golf. Because in golf, when you have a bad hole, it's one hole out of an entire round. And when you step up to the next tee box, you have to be able to play the hole as a new hole. You can't let that carry over. And so you have to reset really quick. And a lot of folks, what they do is they have a bad day, they have situation that's happening to them, and they don't have the ability to work through it and work past it in a short period of time. And your success in dealing with bad days will ultimately be determined by how quick you can get through it. And I think that the first thing that people really have to understand.
First, you're going to have bad days.
Everybody has bad days. How often do you have bad days?
I don't even see them as bad days anymore because I know they're like it's just part of a day.
Like losing a deal. Like you're just going to lose deals.
Yeah. And that's when I go back to where am I going? Mm-hmm. Like your analogy of the golf course. Mm-hmm. Like I know the way for me to fix that game is for me to go back and hit a shot that I'm comfortable with.
Yeah.
It's not to go home.
Rather than
I go
focus
home right now, and I'm bringing home the bad shots with me. I got to correct the shot. So whether I do it on the range and go let me go hit an iron that's easy for me.
Yeah.
But in our business, when we're not getting something done, the first thing I'm going to do is go get something done. Like I'm going to drop the weights until I can pick up something comfortably.
And this goes back.
I'm going to in my case, I'm going to make a call where I know I can sell something.
Yeah. And this goes back to one of the things that people talk about. They're like, they talk about your failures. I learned from my failures, and you're like, no. You don't want to learn from your failures. You want to learn from your successes.
Yeah.
And so I think that's another way to look at, hey, how do I go back to something that I'm comfortable with, that I'm familiar with, and something ultimately that worked?
The old adage about get back on the horse.
Yeah.
That's still good today. You got to get back on. Maybe I need to slow it down from a gallop to just a walking. Mm-hmm. But I think I got to cut the gradient of the activity back because I've edged into something. Regardless of where you are, you're going to edge into something where you're going to start having more failures than successes.
Yeah.
Because you're out of your comfort zone. Mm-hmm. And then I just got to drop back a little bit, get a couple wins and victories. I mean, when do we win the most?
When we can repeat successful actions.
When we're winning. It's easier to win when you're winning.
Yeah.
So if you're watching a basketball game, it's like, why aren't they taking the layup? Mm-hmm. Like, dude, you keep throwing up these 3-pointers.
Brick,
you're shooting from
brick,
air.
Yeah.
Like, why don't you go back to layups? A 2-foot shot, a bank shot. Okay, then we get to the foul line. Okay, and then you get enough confidence. You don't keep taking a 3 shot if you're missing it all night.
Yeah.
Because you're just going to get further and further behind.
So I think that what we could say is, like, you're in a position now, like you're like a veteran entrepreneur,
I could just take 3 shots.
A veteran business person, like you get to the point where, hey, dude, I just know bad days are part of the deal and it doesn't really affect me.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of people out there who are sitting there going, dude, bad days ruin me. They destroy me. So what do you think is one thing that if somebody's out there right now, let's just say they had a bad morning and now they're in a bad day right now. What's one thing that they can do right now to reset?
Cut back the gradient. Mm-hmm. Go do something easy that you know. Like I'm always going to go back to friends and family. Mm-hmm. Go back to my customer base. What do I always do? I'm always cut it back to sell or be sold.
Power base, yeah.
Go back to power base. Who's going to say yes to me? Who can I do a deal with? Who can I cut a deal with? Who am I going to get victory from? Okay, number one. Number two, the 10X rule is the solution to all bad days. The ultimate solution to all disappointment and discouragement. Redefine discouragement and disappointment and rejection. It is the incorrect estimation. Oh, I had rejection because you thought that guy was going to say yes when you should have said, no, I need 10 of them in order for one to say yes. You're not having a rejection moment. You're having my business model's broken. I don't have enough people in my pipeline.
Yeah.
So one, accept it. Hey, I just lost a deal. Two, cut the gradient back. And three, hey, let's fill up that pipeline.
It's funny because for me, like I would say that I'm not where you're at yet. Like a bad day still has an impact on me. Things that happen, it still has an impact on me. But one of the things that I've done, I feel like I'm in the middle. Like you're the end game, I'm in the middle, and then there are other people out there who it's a real problem for.
Yeah, it destroys them. They're going to get drunk all weekend.
One of the things that really helped me is because I know that it happens to everybody, and because I know that other people use this as an excuse or a reason to fall back, I always see the opportunity in it. And I've developed this ability to go like, hey, there's an opportunity here. When I run into something hard, I learned this from you, like where I run into something difficult or something hard and I have like a pullback moment, immediately I go, there's an opportunity here. Where is the opportunity? And then I look, hey, other people are gonna quit now.
Yes.
Is this my opportunity to get a little bit further ahead of the pack?
Right.
And so that automatically gets me excited because now I know that I'm in control of something. I'm back in control of this thing. Hey, now I'm in full control of whether or not I move forward with this or I allow it to pull me back.
Yeah.
So I look for the opportunity in it.
And one of the things, like when is Jared, this is a great topic, how to handle a bad day. Guys, if you've ever had you need a formula. It should be, bad day, click.
Yeah.
Lights out, okay? Lights out. I mean, somebody goes over there and turns the switch off and the lights go out. So same thing with bad day. Bad day, what's your go-to moves? Right, so for me, my go-to moves, I'm glad you brought this up because I don't think I had quantified it. So if I have a bad day or a bad call, bad day, whatever. A bad day is the result of a bunch of bad calls for me. So what do I do? First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut the gradient back of the calls. Second thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to save that last call. I'm gonna flip this to somebody else and say, can you call this guy and find out what happened? It went terrible, like they hung up on me. I'm gonna flip it. We do that in the sales room.
Yeah.
Because if I could turn that call around, if bad could become good all of a sudden, oh my God.
Yeah.
This is what made me think about that is this is an opportunity.
Yeah.
Okay, and the opportunity is everybody else is going to fall off right now. It's happening to everybody.
Yep.
And two, if I could reverse this call right now, I don't have the guts to do it. I just got hit with too much bad. I'm not the person to make the call unless I got a split personality.
Yeah.
So anybody could call. Natalie, Rock, Francisco, if they could understand him. Hey, why didn't you buy it? You know.
Come on.
Yeah. Don't understand you. Put Grant back on.
Yeah.
You know, that goes back to what you said about puts me back in charge.
Yeah. One thing that also helped me, a trick that helped me is like, so immediately I shift into opportunity. And then the second thing that I go to is who can I help?
Love that.
So that is a different variation of the gradient, like cutting the gradient back. Like if I was slamming on calls and I was just getting beat up and I was really starting to I'd call somebody safe who I knew, like a Keenan or somebody like that, and I'd be like, hey man, what can I do to help you out? Can I pull a couple guys and let me do a sales meeting for you guys real quick?
Yeah, service. You go into service.
I do because that reminds
Get you out of yourself.
Yep.
Get you out of your loss.
Yep.
And get you back into service.
Yep.
I love that. I used to do that when I was selling cars. If I couldn't sell a car, everybody I talked to. I mean, you go through these spells where you're like, you got voodoo on you.
Yeah.
You know, you got like some kind of kryptonite. You're no longer Superman. And I'd be like, hey Jared, let me call your customers. I don't want anything for it. Let me just call, because I'd have a freedom with your customers that
you wouldn't have with yours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because nothing will cure a bad day
Like a bunch
like
of
a
money.
victory.
Yeah.
Give me a victory, dude. Give me a closed deal. Give me a new customer. Give me some money. Give me an appointment.
So for me, again, we're talking about how to get through a bad day. So number one, you want to cut the gradient. Number two, save the deal. Okay. So this is
or get a deal.
Or get a deal.
Look, if you're maybe your day started bad at home. Mm-hmm. You're leaving, and your husband, y'all got in an argument on the way out the door. Something happened. You got cut off in traffic. Mm-hmm. You need to go get a deal. The only thing that's going to fix your day is to get a win. You got to get a victory. Mm-hmm. You got to move the ball down the field. And then third thing, and I love what Jared said right here. I actually stopped. I forgot this. Who can you help? Mm-hmm. Quit thinking about your own shit. This helped me so much when I got out of the treatment center. Mm-hmm. The guy said, bro, you will stay off drugs if you just help other people stay off drugs. Mm-hmm. Help somebody every day. Either help somebody at work or help somebody when you're not at work. And as long as you're helping people, you're going to help yourself.
Yeah.
So none of this costs money.
And there's no way that helping somebody makes you feel bad.
No, it's always it's when you can't help somebody that you feel bad.
And no, it's when you choose not to.
Or you try to help somebody that doesn't want help. Like if you had an argument with your wife or your husband, maybe leave them alone for a second. Mm-hmm. Go help somebody at work. Go help somebody else. There's more people on this planet than just Jared, Sandy, and Jake. Mm-hmm. There's a whole planet. There's a lot of family out there that we're all responsible for.
Let me ask you this. So when you're having a bad day, how important is it to go back to goals?
Oh my God! That's why I had the day timer out here. I got my day timer. My day timer, like the most two important pages on this, and it comes on the inside of the day timer, is this little QR code.
How to?
Okay, so when you punch your phone on that QR code, it's going to tell you how I write my goals down every day. I am convinced that this little technique that I do every day is responsible. This has made me at least $250 million. I'm telling you, I know Jared's done it. Mm-hmm. Ryan Secco's done it. Y'all should look at Ryan Secco's, what he writes down every morning. Crazy what he's accomplishing in there. And what it is I wake up. It doesn't have to be this day timer. You don't have to buy a day timer to do this. It could be that piece of paper right there. Take this piece of paper. I wake up in the morning. I'm in a Park Lane hotel in New York City, and I got a piece of paper. I grab it. I'm like, I am worth $10 billion. Okay, I own 20,000 apartments. Okay, all info translated. I'll start writing in code too. It's like just letters. All info translated to 58 languages. Like nobody even will know what any of this stuff means except me.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm probably going to throw it away at the end of the day and move on. Wake up in the morning, write my goals. Before I go to sleep at night, was there a hotel called that?
Yeah, the Park Lane.
Hotel. Go to sleep at night. I write down my goals. Anytime I'm disappointed, write down my goals. So when you don't score, you're on the phone all day. I got guys on the phone all day long making how many calls?
Hundreds
of phone
per
calls.
day. And they'll talk to 4 or 5 people.
And they're like, God damn, I hate this job. You don't hate the job. You hate the results.
Yeah.
Let's put you in a situation where you're a barber and you don't cut any hair that day. You're probably not going to love that day a lot.
The most underutilized tool that a salesperson has is the phone. We don't have the opportunity of having people walk into our office and go, hey, I'm interested. Or we don't have the opportunity of lots of inbound leads or people that are interested in what we're doing. We have to create the interest. We have to go out into the marketplace and create the interest.
Business, and when there's no create, what does that mean?
There's no commitment.
When you guys can't create leads, when you can't create prospects, when you can't create activity, it's because you lack
commitment.
Always. This should be like a biblical phrase.
Dude, I'll tell you, you would be the top salesperson in your store in less than 90 days if today you made a commitment to making at least 125 calls a day. You would be a maniac. People would start hating on you so hard, dude.
This guy ain't made 125 calls in a month. Last month, how many phone calls did you make last month?
Probably 12.
Sad.
Wow.
Sad.
Yeah, dude, you got.
Bro, you don't need to worry about the enemy. You are the enemy.
That's right.
And then you wonder why I got a bad day, because you don't know what you're doing. Why you got a bad marriage, because you don't know what you're doing.
That's
why
right.
Why you don't like parenting, because you don't know what you're doing. Why don't you like a day off, because you don't know what you're doing.
That's right. All of the above.
So look, you guys want to get real? Get some skill.
Ooh.
You want to get real? You want to get real? Let's get real. You got to get some skill. If you want to avoid bad days, put on a condom.
Protect yourself.
Strap yourself in.
Protect yourself.
Get you a big strappy. Okay? How do you do that? What's the condom for bad days? Share your successes with everyone.
Yep.
You need to start telling everybody about how successful you are. 2, write your goals down every day, in the morning and at night. I'm telling you, it is like a cross to the devil. It is like light
in
to
the
the
darkness.
vampire.
Okay.
It is like a 10x
To the average.
a 10x diamond dog tags to some make-believe podcaster. 3, write your affirmations every day. Affirm your reality, your future. Affirmations. Affirmations are written in present tense. I am successful. I am rich. I am happy. I am healthy. I am spiritual. 4, get deals done. Ain't nothing a better condom for a bad day than straight up getting a deal done.
Dealio, Joe. Nothing will turn your day around, a bad day around, like getting a deal either. I remember when I was selling.
Yeah.
Here and for
What do you
my
mean,
for my
when you
dad.
were selling?
When I was selling for my dad, like
Okay.
and on the floor selling deals every day here. Dude, nothing like when you got a good deal come in. Like I remember I'd sell 2 jet skis on a trailer and make it'd be like a $6,000, $8,000 deal, and I'd make $1,500 or something like that. It was like immediately I'm
Boom!
like,
Boom! I'm Superman, man. It's like a cape. I can fly. And number 5, Jared brought this up. Help other people. Help other people. Stay in service. Get active. Okay? Be doing something. So we talked about how to resolve the bad day. The best way to resolve it is to strap in, man.
Yeah.
Get you some protection. Get you some
yeah, and
voodoo.
people get all bogged down into like, man, they start thinking that bad days aren't ever going to happen, and so when they have one, they're like, oh man, this is terrible. It's falling apart. I'm no good at my job. I should start looking for a new job. My boss is terrible. Like they start dragging the whole freaking world down with them.
Yeah.
And all you have to do is make a shift. And know that when you're having a bad day, you have to accept responsibility and know that this is your opportunity, this is your time to get a little bit better than everybody else. And to get closer to where this guy is right now, to where a bad day doesn't even affect him. He just knows it's part of the game and he works through it and it doesn't slow him down.
I don't really have bad days anymore. I mean, it's really not impossible for me to have a bad days because I know if I just stay in the game, I'm going to win at some point.
Because you've disconnected the attachment of emotion to the win or the loss. That's one of the most powerful things that people never see about you that I get to see from the back end is you could go close the biggest deal of your life. You could go close the biggest deal of your life, and I'm like,
I'm on to the next deal.
That was a big deal, bro. Aren't you gonna like celebrate? You're like, yeah, man, it worked out great. It worked out how it was supposed to.
Yeah.
You lose a big deal, man, I lost it. On to the next deal.
In both situations, it's a very important point Jared said. I don't celebrate. I don't go into some, oh my God, we got to go on a vacation now because we got such a big deal. I'm just, okay, yeah, that happened. It's supposed to happen. Oh, that happened. Well, that happens, right? So, and I'm back into the activity again.
Yeah, when you're a new salesperson, just watch this. Take note of this, and if this happens to you, know that this is you. When you get a deal, how long does it take you to get back into your thing? I remember when I first started working for you, I got a deal, dude. I was destroyed for like 3 hours.
A deal would destroy.
Oh yeah, because I was like, I gotta go, and it was like 3 hours before I got back into the deal and like started doing the thing again.
Yeah.
Because it totally
you
takes.
replayed it and everything.
Oh
in
my
your head.
gosh,
Oh my God,
yeah,
I'm so great.
and then you're happy and you're walking around. You got
look what I did. Who does that over here? Dave Robards?
No, I think a lot of the guys have worked through that. So if you sell on the phone, never ever hang up, because humans have this natural instinct to wait on a call. Like it's the most bizarre thing in the world. But when I was making calls and people would be like, no, I'm not interested. I used to do that. I used to be like, but then I stopped and I'd listen and they'd still be there. They wouldn't hang up.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, you still there? And they'd be like, not anymore. Click.